Feathered Serpent.
Captain's log, stardate 5097.3. Starfleet reports major military activity in the Klingon sector near Krakur, a planet on the edge of Klingon space. Intelligence indicates that the Klingons are mobilizing a large fleet to search for a renegade who is responsible for a disruption of unknown nature on that planet. Federation sensors have found a faint energy trail leading to the planet Zam-4 in the Digifal system. We've been ordered by Starfleet to track down the source of the energy and discover what happened on Krakur before the Klingon fleet enters Federation space. If we are not successful, the Federation and the Klingon Empire may find themselves at war once again.
Hey everybody, it is me, Super Paul Games. Welcome back to Star Trek, the 25th anniversary. Alright, so we need to find, what was that, Digifal, I believe? Which is number 7 on my map, though you can't see that, which is, I think, right there. Let's hope we're right, we don't end up in Klingon space.
Captain, a Klingon battle cruiser has entered the system.
Oh,
Open hailing frequencies. This is Captain James T. Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Klingon battle cruiser, you are in Federation space. You must leave immediately.
I am Commander Taraz of the Nizra. We are in pursuit of a genocidal criminal. We are performing an act of mercy in removing him from your space. Naturally, you will remove your vessel from this system, for your own safety, of course.
I think we can take care of ourselves, Taraz, which is more than I can say for you, if the Nizra does not leave Federation space at once.
you have encroached upon our space, Klingon Commander. Were the roles reversed, you would blow us up, probably.
You are in direct violation of the Organian Treaty, mister. If you have a problem, have your fleet commander take it up with them. If a Federation criminal were to pass into Klingon space, you'd be saying the same thing to me.
If we are not allowed to capture this criminal, Captain, you may do this for us. We insist that we remain here to monitor the situation, but we will take no action, provided that you can bring him to us in 12 hours.
Agreed. Vessels of war are not allowed in Federation space. You will pull back to the Organian neutral zone, and do so immediately.
Man, I want to tell him that, but I'm pretty sure we're going to have to fight. I think Kirk would be more
Agreed.
diplomatic. Take us in orbit, Mr. Sulu.
Entering standard orbit.
Can you tell me, what can you tell me about the planet there, computer?
Digifal, a system near the Klingon neutral zone. Digifal contains 2 habitable planets, Digifal 3 and Digifal 4. Digifal 3, also known as Zem-4, contains ruins of a civilization that abandoned the planet approximately 20,000 years ago and has been declared a protected world for archaeological reasons.
Interesting. I guess we might as well beam down there?
I have pinpointed the source of the energy trail from Krakur.
And?
I have pinpointed the source of the energy trail from Krakur.
Alright, let's beam down to it then.
Assemble a landing party. Unless we find this so-called criminal, we're going to war.
Bye, Mr. Kyle. We're gonna have an adventure. Miss you. Not too much, though. Holy shit, it's Elvis.
Jim, that man is dressed in ancient Aztec clothing.
I believe you are mistaken, Doctor. His clothing bears a distinct resemblance to fashions of a much later period.
I'm just a security officer, sir.
The humanoid's adornments appear similar to those worn by leaders of Earth's early 20th century inhabitants of the South American continent.
What do you know about Earth culture? He looks like an ancient Aztec.
There is a tall, slender, dark-haired man looking intently at you.
It's Space Elvis, I swear.
Greetings, my children.
Quetzalcoatl.
I can barely imagine that you have come so far.
I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you? I'm Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. What did you do to get the Klingons so upset? We're not your children, and we don't appreciate this wild goose chase you forced us into. I am Captain James T. Kirk of the Starship Enterprise. Did you know the Klingons are looking for you?
The Klingons? Amazing. This is the first time one of my missions has produced results so swiftly.
Listen, mister. Any missions conducted within Klingon space fully jeopardize the peace. Damn right the results were swift. The Klingons have been raiding colonies looking for you.
I like that one.
Listen, mister. Any missions conducted within Klingon space fully jeopardize the peace.
Jeopardize the peace? Hardly. Peace is what I preach. I am Quetzalcoatl, as you well know from the proud history of your world.
Quetzalcoatl? How fitting you would name yourself after one of the most bloody-handed gods in Earth's history.
Bloody-handed? My people love peace.
Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts.
Kirk, that's what he means by he loves peace. He loved pieces of human hearts.
Ha! You mean your followers loved pieces. They slaughtered other believers hoping you'd return. Your followers regularly sacrificed other believers to you after you left, offering you their still-beating hearts.
Impossible. You must be lying.
And then your followers were destroyed, because when white men arrived on that continent, they were believed to be you in your promised return. Your people perverted your teachings, then were destroyed by it.
Foul, lying creatures! My gift was wasted upon you! Be gone! Clearly are not the inheritors of the noble Aztec world. What you have said has greatly disturbed me. You should not lie so. You shall remain here until you have learned the error of angering Quetzalcoatl.
Sorry, Magic Elvis Quetzalcoatl. Well, that's kind of cool. Does that mean that there's a real Quetzalcoatl? I mean, I know this is a game, but... Hey, Spock, we're in a pit. I kind of didn't expect him to throw us in a pit.
Those vines would be useful to escape, if we could reach them.
Do I look like Houdini to you? I'm afraid you're going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat on this one.
No enemies in sight, but supplies could be a problem if we don't get out.
We'll just eat you first, Redshirt. It's all right.
You are in a deep pit. It is a long, hard climb to the top.
That's what the ladies see when they see Captain Kirk. It's long and hard.
This particular snake doesn't seem to like your company and moves whenever you get near it.
But I just want to hug him. Can we get a reading on him?
One Starfleet issue science tricorder, a science officer's best friend.
Mr. Spock, can you get a reading on the snake?
It looks like a Zamphorian pit snake, a rather common species in this region, noted by galactic herpetologists for their quickness. It is not venomous or dangerous to humans.
All right.
There is a vine hanging down into the pit. There are several loose vines hanging over the side of the pit out of reach. This is one of them.
I can't imagine it's as easy as just climbing up this vine.
Spock is carefully examining the pit.
Alright, I don't think this is gonna work, but Redshirt, why don't you try picking up the snake?
Doesn't seem to want to be grabbed, sir. It just slithers back to its hole. There's no way that we're getting up that way, Captain. The vine is too weak.
There is not enough support, Captain.
It's a damn snake. Do you know what snakebite does? It can ruin your whole day.
We are not likely to find a way out of this pit with humor, Doctor. I suggest you concentrate your efforts to the problem at hand.
Do they always argue like this, Captain?
Well, yes.
I like that. He's fun like that. Let's call the ship.
Fascinating. Our communicators have apparently been rendered ineffective.
Alright, I hate to turn to violence, but can we stun this creature?
It is logical that an entity that professes to teach peace would render our phasers inoperative.
Sir, the way you've been waving that around is making me very nervous.
Alright, so... what do we do then, Mr. Spock?
There is a tiny hole in the wall at this point. Certainly no human could crawl through here.
What if we phaser it?
One Starfleet regulation.
I'm sorry, Mr. Snake, but for some reason I need you.
It is logical that an entity that...
Can't one of you guys just block the damn hole?
Fascinating.
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to shoot you, Spock.
I see no logic in searching an empty hole, Captain. The snake is too quick to be easily grabbed before it retreats, Captain.
There are rocks here quite suitable for picking up and throwing. You pick up some rocks from the pile.
So, I don't know why I need you, Mr. Okay, so we picked up a rock, we shoved it in his home. Come to me, Mr. Snake. Spock, I caught a snake! He's gonna be like, sir, why did you do that? Well, I don't know. Can we look at it properly?
This snake is just waiting for a chance to sink its fangs into someone, especially young Starfleet security officers. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Can we just throw it up there?
This isn't very logical, but as you are human, it is quite understandable.
Spock, it is logical. See, I'm teaching the snake human language, and I'm going to throw him up over there. Well, he doesn't need human language. He can go find Harry Potter and talk to him in snake language and get him out of here, right?
It is logical that an entity that professes to teach peace...
Well, we got to be able to use these rocks for something else.
I'm picking up residual energy readings from the area where the alien's projection was.
Interesting.
Nothing to report. This vine is not likely to support our weight by itself, Captain. You would have to find some way to reinforce it.
Can we just glue the snake to it?
Nothing happens.
Fascinating. It did appear to knock the vine down near to the point where one of us can reach it.
Didn't they have baseball on Vulcan? Show us your fastball, Jim.
Baseball? No one plays that anymore. Good try, though, sir.
They will when DS9 comes back around.
The probability of getting the vine on the second try was only 36.53%. Well done, Captain.
Probability? That was a perfect pitch if I ever saw one.
All right. We're on our way.
I'm assuming we need the snake later, because otherwise we just kidnapped a snake for no good reason. Are the rest of you guys coming up here?
Staying in this overgrown region could prove quite dangerous. I suggest we continue, Captain.
I feel like someone's watching us, Captain.
This jungle is sure lush, Jim. Speaking of lush, I could use a nice saurian brandy about now.
Bones, you read my mind.
I am Tolokzak, priest of Quetzalcoatl. Only one who knows his ways may approach his holy ground.
Uh-oh.
Nice planet. I kind of like it.
Did you ever get the feeling that people don't like you?
Perhaps our host will be more reasonable now. I recommend trying to locate him, Captain.
Towering over your security officer, holding a great spear in his huge hand, the great warrior Tolokzak will let no one pass him.
I don't know who you are, Tolokzak. I got a snake you can have if you want. Wait, that sounds dirty, like I'm coming on to him.
Captain, I do not think that I can defeat him in personal combat.
Oh, so
What about your famous nerve pinch?
It is unlikely to work on a man of that size, Doctor.
Damn, he noticed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Spock. I wanted you to get a medical or a tricorder reading.
Nothing to report, Captain.
Is he real, Dr. McCoy?
Well, Either this Aztec is a real flesh and blood human being, or I'm going to be retired as soon as I get back to the Enterprise.
Odd.
I will not listen to your deceitful ways.
I didn't even say anything yet. You didn't give me a chance to lie.
Primitive lights illuminate this savage scene. Primitive lights illuminate this savage scene.
I have a snake you can have. Here's the snake.
Indeed, you know the ways of Quetzalcoatl, but only a man of courage, one who will shed blood, will pass.
That's why we have a red shirt.
All right. Time for some action. Let me show you how we did it at the Academy. Captain, do you realize how big this guy is?
You are the wussiest red shirt ever. Can you take some blood samples and give it to him? I'm pretty sure that's not what he wants. Alright, if anybody's gonna get rough and tumble with this guy, it'd be Captain Kirk.
There's nothing at the moment for me to do there.
I want to kick his ass! Kirk is just like, suck rock!
Taloxat falls to the ground unconscious.
He dropped a knife, Jim.
Okay, get it.
You pick up the beautifully crafted knife.
I love all this Star Trek stuff of peace and exploration. And Kirk is like, screw it, suck rock! Let's look at this knife.
A beautifully crafted stone knife inlaid with Aztec patterns.
No, I wondered if we should have asked him to use that. Do we have to use that now on ourselves?
Below this rock is a large growth of mushrooms. You fail to obtain anything.
Dude, we need some shrooms for getting high.
I would strongly recommend against touching these, Jim. They're highly toxic.
Interesting. Well, we still got our snake, and we've got our knife.
Nothing happens.
I hope that was the right way to beat that guy. I feel kind of bad throwing that rock at him, but it was funny. Uh-oh.
A pair of eyes are all that you can see of the rest of this creature. Most of it is hidden beneath the murky water. The log looks quite old, but sturdy. There is a slow, muddy river blocking your path. A strong, thick log serves as a footbridge. The river is unmoving, and the heat and stillness are oppressive. The river water is too muddy to get an idea of its depth, or what may be beneath its surface.
Alright, this guy's got to be a problem right here. Tell me more about him, Dr. McCoy.
It's some kind of squid, and it doesn't look very friendly.
Here's a snake.
Nothing happens.
Jim, are you out of your mind?
Now, what if I use it on the red shirt?
Thanks, Captain, but I can take care of myself. I finished second in my weight class in wrestling at the Academy. You keep the knife.
There's got to be something we can we throw the rock at it?
Nothing happens.
It is some kind of mollusk. The river seems to be its home, and it is carnivorous, eating land and river-based forms of life.
You know it's going to kill us when we try and cross.
There seems to be a lit cave beyond the log.
I recommend caution here, Captain.
We're being cautious, Mr. Spock.
Reminds me of a planet I was stationed on once. The native girls were real friendly. Ensign Shu had his bachelor party there. Great time. You ever been to Omicron Draconis, Captain?
I don't think you've ever touched a girl, dude.
Anyone for a campfire?
This plant has a rather thick stem and prickly leaves.
Well, that took me a while to find.
It appears that the leaves are slightly toxic. I would not recommend touching it for an extended amount of time, Captain.
What can we do with it, though?
I recommend caution here, Captain.
This plant has a rather thick...
There's nothing there required. There's nothing there required.
Well, we do have that knife. Maybe we can use that on it. Alright, let's throw it in the water to try and get rid of this thing. Oh, it worked!
It would appear that the plant secretes a chemical that is a natural repellent to the creature. It has retreated far downstream, Captain.
Most excellent. Nobody died. Kirk's just showing off, and I was like, I'm just gonna hang out here. Don't worry, everybody.
It is a large cluster of crystals.
Ooh, I want crystals. What kind?
This appears to be a formation of raw dilithium crystals, Captain.
You will need something to pry it loose.
Do we have anything?
You have one dilithium crystal in raw form.
Reminds me of some spelunking I did on Hades 4. Ever do any climbing, Captain?
Have you ever made it up the face of Half Dome, Lieutenant?
If we ever get back to Earth, 100 credits says I'll beat you.
Captains and security officers, they don't realize how fragile the human body can be.
Sure we do. That's the challenge.
He doesn't seem to be in a...
I've lost any appetite I may have had for squid, Jim.
I would suggest we continue on, Captain. It would not be logical to endanger ourselves by remaining here.
They appear to be ordinary rocks. Spock's tricorder might say otherwise.
That's not a slight hint, is it?
Fascinating. These rocks are limestone, but contain an unusually high content of heavy metals. There are dilithium crystals here, but in a very raw form.
I didn't know you liked heavy metal there, Spock.
They appear to be ordinary... Stalactites descend from the ceiling.
I should warn you, the stalactites could collapse quite easily. Any sudden motion could cause large quantities of stalactites to fall on us.
Well, isn't this just great?
Doctor, I would point out that your voice could also trigger such a collapse.
Will you two stop arguing just once? Then, gentlemen, I would advise you to stop arguing. You know, some shore leave sounds pretty good right now. Will you two... Then, gentlemen, I would advise you to stop arguing.
I notice how they don't exactly match what they wrote in the game.
It would seem to be a prudent course of action, Captain, if Dr. McCoy would agree.
You children.
I watched as you worked through the problems I set in your path. You are a valiant, intelligent species. Please sit down. We have much to discuss.
Sorry about throwing the rock at your dude.
I've had it up to here with so-called superior beings terrorizing my crew because we're so primitive. Maybe you should see how primitive you are before you go around testing others. One thing first, if you're so peaceful, how come the Aztecs were so violent and aggressive? Yes, I guess we do. Go on. I've had one thing. Yes, I guess we do. Go on.
First, I have one question. You are clearly not the liars I thought you to be. Were you telling me the truth about my disciples? That they became ruthless savages?
The Federation is not in the business of lying, mister. Absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid. You messed up in a big way. Perhaps you should try following the Prime Directive. It changed our lives. The Federation is not in the business of lying, mister. Absolutely. Your best intentions were changed by the imperfect humans that you left in charge after you departed. Such is the way of our race, I'm afraid.
I think he deserves to know the truth.
I sense truth in this. Perhaps this is what happened to my children on the Klingon world of Rakur, which would explain why they are searching for me. I have clearly abused the power that was given me long ago.
You show great wisdom, sir, but your statement implies that you wish to change your condition.
Indeed. If my mission of peace was overthrown, then I am no longer worthy of my power. Tell me, has your species made progress in the medical arts?
We're a technologically advanced starfaring race. What do you think? That we wouldn't have made progress in medicine?
That's how I would feel at that point. I would be like Kirk and be like, what the... No.
With Dr. McCoy, I sometimes wonder, but yes, I would say we have made considerable advances.
No, I'm not gonna trash Bones. He's the bomb.
Yes, why do you ask? Yes, why do you ask?
At the top of my spine is a gland not found in your species. This is the seat of my power. I wish you to remove it, thereby making me immortal.
Jim, I'll try, but the physiology is completely alien.
You've got to do it, Bones. If the Klingons realize he's no longer a threat to them, perhaps we can avoid a war. Scotty, 5 to beam up.
I have a knife you can use if you want, Bones. Hi, Mr. Kyle. This is Quetzalcoatl. He's an Aztec god.
Captain, 3 Klingon heavy battle cruisers have just entered the system. Admiral Kenka is hailing us, sir.
Federation starship, this is Admiral Vlik Pinka of the Clearter. You harbor a criminal who has caused the destruction of the entire population of Rakkor. We are not prepared to negotiate. You will proceed to Rakkor, where a court of Klingon justice will be convened. If you refuse, we shall destroy you.
Admiral Vlik, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time. I cannot believe Quetzalcoatl's mission to Rakkor would cause the deaths of the entire planet. Since when do Klingons give orders to Federation officers, Admiral? I realize it's difficult for a Klingon, but don't be a fool. Admiral Vlik, the criminal of whom you speak is in the middle of a very delicate medical procedure. He cannot be handed over to anyone at this time.
I'm kind of stuck between choosing this one and the second choice, but I'm going to lean towards this one. I don't know if the Klingons are going to care.
His attempt to corrupt the Empire with his philosophy led to the destruction of all life on Rakkor.
How could a philosophy of peace and non-violence cause the destruction of all life on Rakkor?
Rakkor has been governed by my family for generations, but even they were corrupted by him. It was a matter of honor that his lies had to be silenced, no matter what the cost.
My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with? So you killed them, your own family. You were responsible for their deaths, not Quetzalcoatl. You murdered them. You're insane. Tell me, how much do your commanders know about what you did? Or do you need to kill Quetzalcoatl to hide your own deeds? My God, you killed your own people just because they acquired a philosophy that you disagreed with?
It was that creature's fault. Had he not interfered in our affairs, the people of Rakkor would be alive. Clearly, he is responsible.
Message from Starfleet Command.
I'll argue this with you later, Blake.
Contact your superiors, Kirk. You may be surprised.
I have bad news, Captain. The Organians have ruled that Quetzalcoatl's interference in Klingon affairs renders him subject to Klingon law. You are to turn your prisoner over to them at Rakkor. Klingon law will permit you to observe or aid in his defense. But be very careful, Jim. Starfleet out.
Captain, you cannot turn him over to those butchers. That would be murder.
We have no choice, Scotty. I'm afraid Quetzalcoatl has a date with Klingon justice. Set course for Rakkor, Mr. Chekov.
Apparently we've just become attorneys. Space attorneys with lasers. Pew, pew. Pew.
Captain's log. We have come to the ruined Klingon planet of Rakkor to deliver our guest, the mythical entity Quetzalcoatl, to a Klingon court. Dr. McCoy, Mr. Spock, and Ensign Benny and I have been granted permission by the Organians to witness this trial, which I expect to be a travesty of any meaningful definition of justice. Spock, come with me. Mr. Scott, you have the con.
Bye, Mr. Kyle. We have to go be lawyers now.
The prisoner and his witnesses will stand forth, so the trial may begin. So, Kirk, we finally meet. I had thought it would be in battle, but The universe holds many surprises.
There's nothing less appealing than a gloating Klingon, Vlicht. Let's get this trial underway. Stick around, Vlicht. There are more surprises awaiting you. Why does every Klingon tell me they expected to meet me in battle? You really have a one-track mind. There's nothing... Stick around, Vlicht. There are more surprises awaiting you.
So be it! This begins the trial of the entity Quetzalcoatl, who is charged with impersonating a Klingon, stirring dissent, encouraging cowardice, and treason in the highest degree.
Those are serious charges, Vlicht. Should he not be tried by a Klingon high court?
He has not demonstrated honor, Kirk. Only a proven warrior may be tried in high court. Principles of honor are not applicable to his defense.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial. And this trial is a mockery for the entire galaxy to see. Oh, well, I'm afraid you're on your own, Quetzalcoatl.
That'd be hilarious. Bye, dude.
I'm a warrior, Vlicht. I hereby intervene for him and demand the honors and responsibilities of a warrior's trial.
A Federation officer claiming the rights of a Klingon warrior. How dare you insult me, Kirk?
I've faced Klingons both in personal and ship-to-ship combat. Your own records will confirm this. If I'm not worthy of their honors, why didn't they kill me?
That oversight, Kirk, is easily rectified. You and your 3 companions may face the test that we set for the Defender. Then we shall see if you are as worthy as a Klingon.
I want your word of honor, Vlicht, that Quetzalcoatl will not be harmed while we take these tests.
Very well. You have my word. Captain Calarax, transport them to the test of life.
What is this place?
Not much is known about Hrakur, Ensign. This would appear to be some sort of a mining installation. That creature might be a native life form.
A test of courage? That is the Klingon way.
I somehow doubt that Vlicht intends for us to survive this, whatever the outcome. We're the only thing that stands between him and the killing of Quetzalcoatl that he can justify.
Why should he worry about justification, Captain? He's a Klingon. Murder is as natural to them as breathing.
That's not true, Ensign. However, I suspect that Vlicht's attack on Hrakur exceeded his orders. He needs Quetzalcoatl as a scapegoat, and he needs a fair trial to avoid an inquiry of his own actions.
And our deaths will be the only way he can get it. Great!
Let's take a look around.
These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed.
Can I hit people with them? That'd be fun.
Why do I have the feeling that I'm about to have a bad day?
How could you do it, Jim? I spent hours trying to save his life, and you just gave him away in seconds to the Klingons.
You've handled those Klingons well, sir. We've got them on the run now.
Captain, I have calculated the odds of surviving this at...
Shut up, Spock.
Well, everybody's very supportive here.
Nothing to report, Captain. These wooden rods are support beams that were not placed. Nothing to report, Captain.
Nothing at all about this giant electrical beam thing.
This creature is composed of electrical fields. I would not recommend approaching it. A metal projectile might disrupt its fields and render it harmless. Nothing to report, Captain. An entry coder for the door, keyed to a number sequence. The tricorder is unable to determine the code, but can scan the mechanism.
Alright, Doctor, can you give me any medical readings on this thing?
It does not register as a known life form.
This is kind of funny as Kirk just stands there with this wood he's holding.
James T. Kirk, hero of the galaxy. Your ever dependable crewman, Ensign Benny. This section of wall was carved by some sort of plasma field.
Interesting.
This wall was carved from the natural rock.
The floor is incomplete, made of unrefined natural rock.
Do we still have that dilithium? Oh, I wonder if we could have used that for something earlier. I wonder why we had that. Well, that didn't work.
A field of static lightning. It seems to be moving in a purposeful manner.
Can we talk to it? It's a zit.
Captain, there is a force field between us and the planet. We have your position at approximately 30 meters beneath the surface of Hakora, and what appears to be the ruins of an archaeological dig. Keep us informed. We'll help you all we can. We can analyze any data you gather through the main computer.
Uhura, prepare to receive a tricorder message. There is a door with an entry coder here. Try to analyze the circuits and let the main computer crack the code.
Scan complete. Main computer has the code. We also read an anomaly. Something else has tapped into the key code. Shall I analyze?
I want that door open. Affirmative, Uhura.
Sir, we have a secondary code that is nested in the Klingon program. Computer is unable to analyze its function. Shall we broadcast it to you when you activate the keypad?
Affirmative. Negative. Transmit the door entry code. Affirmative.
Good luck, Captain.
Well, let's hope that doesn't screw us. Uhura, you're awesome, though. Can we blast the wall?
The wall is resistant to phaser fire.
Jim, stop trying to shoot everything. You're making me nervous.
Well, I don't know what to do, Bones. What?
You melt some of the rock.
Alright, that I meant to do that, I'm sure.
You burn one of the rods.
Well, no, I want one of the rods. Do we have one?
Nothing to report, Captain. Nothing to report.
Well, this thing, they said something about metal. Maybe this is molten metal here? Can we get it on the rod?
You coat the rod with molten iron. It hardens quickly.
Yeah, sometimes it does do that. You know, it gets hot. Alright, let's throw this at the creature. Sorry, creature.
As I suspected, Captain, the creature is in stasis. It should awaken in 3.48 days.
I bet it'll be mad.
Yeah, let's get out of here before it wakes up.
What is this place?
This is not Klingon technology, Captain.
Even I can see that, you pointy-eared freak.
Gentlemen, I suggest we start trying to find out what this is. I have a feeling we've come someplace Flick wasn't expecting us to go.
Isn't that a little intense there to call him a freak there, McCoy?
I suspect, Captain, that the machinery is activated by placing the gems in the proper slots. We should determine a system for this.
I guess I should have taken a few more science courses at the academy.
We've got to get out of here, Jim.
Obviously, they want us to place the gems in the holes, but which one?
This large gem appears to be an emerald of unusual size. This is obviously artificial.
It seems to... do we have to replicate that pattern?
Not prime for neural interlink.
What the hell's that mean?
Not prime for neural interlink.
Alright, let's steal their gems, I guess, while we're at it. We're just gonna try and replicate that. This seems like the easy adventure puzzle thing to do. We're taking all of these, though. Yoink. Mud's gonna be jealous of all our mad gems. Wait. Oh, I thought one of those were highlighted. Do you see how the green one is highlighted? When I go into this menu?
That combination is restricted to higher order functions. Neural interlink required.
Alright, I'm going.
A platform emitting a beam of light.
Nothing to report.
That beam of light's gotta mean something.
There's nothing there requiring a ship's dock.
Alright, let's try neural interlink.
Not prime for neural interlink.
Wait, why not? Interlink with me, bitch.
Not prime for neural...
God dang it.
Captain, it seems to be some sort of interface device, but I do not know how to activate it.
Oh, we kind of turned it on.
I failed to see...
Oh, maybe they don't need to be the same color as that? Alright, let's try and make everything green.
Nothing happens.
They have a very shiny floor here. Some space janitor that's been here for like 2,000 years. It's like, oh, I do a good job.
This is Bialbi, High Mentalic of Rakur. For defense, use the light of war. For information, use my light. For transportation, use the light of travel. Sequences are keyed by combinations of crystals. Integrator now active.
Alright, let us talk to you. We want information. I bet all red is war, and blue is probably the other one.
This is Bialbi, the most advanced life form on this world. Thank you for informing us of the situation. It shall be resolved. Admiral Vlicht, this is the defensive system of Rakur. You have engaged in genocidal activities on this world. Have you anything to say before your sentence is passed?
Kirk! This is your doing!
No, Admiral, it is not. But that will suffice as a final public statement. The sentence is banishment to you and all members of your crew who were involved in this action.
You have no right to try me!
I have as much right as you to conduct trials on this planet. You showed no justice to your victim. The penalty for injustice is death.
Kirk!
Hoist on your own petard, eh, Vlicht? Do you want me to help you?
Vlicht, you committed genocide, killing all the Klingons that liked peace here. Unbeknownst to you that there was some older, ancient civilization here before you.
You tried to send me to my death. Now you can rot as you get what you deserve. If I have your word that Quetzalcoatl goes free, I'm willing to intervene to save you. Hoist on your own petard, eh, Vlicht? Do you want me to help you? If I have your word that Quetzalcoatl goes free, I'm willing to intervene to save you.
Agreed.
A life for a life is a just bargain, but his crimes are beyond count.
I do not see what can be served by more killing.
Idealism, an advanced concept. Naive, perhaps, but charming in its simplicity. Admiral Vlicht, the entity Quetzalcoatl shall be set free. If you ever return to this sector, the sentence shall be carried out. No Klingon vessel may ever return to this world.
Very well. I agree to your terms.
As for you, Captain, you may return. I find your social development most pleasing.
I fear that politics will make it impossible. Your planet is in Klingon space, but I don't understand why the Klingons never detected you.
Their archaeological digs did come close, Captain, but I am very elusive. I waited and monitored the situation and chose to reveal myself to you. Now you may go. Heed my warning, Vlicht. I shall not be merciful a second time.
Well, that was a fun adventure. It's a shame we can't come back. It's cool that the Klingons are like, or the BL, whatever. The guy was like, suck it, Klingons.
Klingon ship leaving the area.
We will be setting course for Digifal. It's the closest thing to a home that Quetzalcoatl has.
It would appear everything worked out for the best.
Except for the people of Rakur, Mr. Spock. Except for the dead.
We have read your report on the problems at Rakur and evaluate your performance at 100%. You and your crew received 4 commendation points. A perfect mission, Jim. You are a model for all Starfleet.
I'm amazed we got that considering I threw the rocks at that dude, but hey, it's alright. Thanks for watching, everybody.